It's a fact that this president, Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi, and Harry Reid do not want to force the immigration laws.
You will.
And it's a matter of fact that after this health care bill either passes or dies, wherever it goes, this administration will push for amnesty of up to 30 million illegal immigrants or criminal aliens within our borders. We can't tolerate or afford this proposed amnesty. Look at California. We will mirror California. Let's send the message to our federal leaders that amnesty is not an acceptable option to America. We need to get serious and secure our borders. And listen, also, thank you to the Minutemen. I know there's one or two out there today, but thank you for what you do. We very simply need to enforce the existing immigration laws. Go back to 9/11, 19 terrorists involved. 15 of those, prior to that event, had some contact with local law enforcement. Now, had simple enforcement been a course of doing business, we may well have averted 9/11. We don't know that, but again, if we had been doing what we're supposed to do. Our governments also know that terrorist organizations are now tied to drug cartels in Mexico, also in Central America, and the potential is there for these organizations and these terrorists to infiltrate our borders. Again, this places our national security at increased risk, yet Washington does nothing about it. I'll tell you this, I'll proudly say this, since we have implemented the immigration enforcement here in Frederick County, we have filed detainers on 485 individuals who are in this country illegally, have broken our laws, and will be removed from this county and from our country. Guantanamo Bay, another issue. Washington, the president, is wrong on this. His plans are to release the known terrorists from Guantanamo Bay, many that are going to be held and incarcerated in prisons on our soil and in our communities. He has recently crippled the effectiveness of the CIA in dealing with terrorists. Again, affecting our security negatively. We have a president that bows to dictators, shakes hands and smiles with leaders of terrorist regimes such as Hugo Chavez, remember that? He fails to stand up to regimes such as Iran, countries that are our enemy and are set on destroying this nation. This is clearly the wrong message to send. And let me throw this one at you. The president also talks about the need and creation of a national security force, similar in size and funded like our military. Listen, folks, we've got a national security force. It's called state and local law enforcement. And someone answer this. What is a national security force? More government control.
No brown shirts.
You know, we've got a president now that apologizes to the world for a nation that saved the free world in 2 world wars. We defeated fascism, imperialism, communism around the world in the last 60 years. For all the sacrifices that you veterans made, we owe no apology to anybody. I'm a very strong believer in the Second Amendment, a supporter of your rights to bear arms, to protect your homes and your families. I have some real grave concerns that this administration and Congress will move toward disarming Americans. Currently, federal legislation, H.R. 45, the Blair Holt Firearm Licensing and Sales Act, is clearly a move in that direction. Again, you've got to get the word out to our congressmen, our senators, that we're not going to stand for. We're not going to sit back and take this. Also at the state level, this message that we're here to throw out today is not about Republican, not about Democrat or social class. It's about our rights as Americans and those governing us staying within the framework of our Constitution to strengthen America. As everything I've talked about is being discussed down in the halls of Washington and those decisions are being made, our constitutional rights are being taken away and the very foundation of our Constitution is being eroded by those actions. I go back to what I said on July 4th. Our Constitution was built and based on the principles of good moral values, a belief in God, the rule of law, and a strong work ethic. The actions of this president, Harry Reid, Dirty Harry Reid, Nancy Pelosi have already taken us very close to the threshold of a socialist form of government, where a leader can control simply by decree or executive order, not governed by the Constitution or the power of the people. We, the people, define the meaning of the Constitution. Government and those elected, including myself, represent the people and serve the people at the pleasure and authority of the people. One founding father said, all tyranny needs to gain a foothold is for good people of moral conscience to remain silent. That's us, and we won't remain silent. I think by being here today on September 11, 2009, not only are we reflecting on 9/11 and where we are today, but we're sending a strong message that we are tired of where this country is currently going. We're telling those people we elected in Washington to stop and change directions in the policies and the current course of government. We can turn the economy around, go back to hard work. Again, we're all going to sacrifice a little bit. We let the principles of free market and democracy rebuild the economy, and we can strengthen our national security by governing within the framework of that Constitution. We're going to send the message to those elected that we will not continue to accept this course of action. We have to be committed to start voting these people out of office at all levels of government. Anyone who does not represent those principles have to be voted out. They have to go. Listen, I took an oath of office to uphold the Constitution and laws of the United States of America. And as Americans, we expect the same in all elected offices of our government. We're going to hold our feet to the fire. God has blessed America to be the greatest nation on the face of the earth. And I do think we have a special destiny. I hope that as Americans we will be continue to be blessed with that will, the resolve, and the right leadership to take this country back on track, continuing and starting right here today, this afternoon, September 11th, 2009. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you all. Thank you.